Está aquí, está aquí.
¿Tú lo tienes ahí?
¿Me oyes ahí? ¿Tienen los headphones?
Pero este es el receiver.
No. Sí, sí, es el receiver. Pero desde ahí va entrando a la computadora.
¿Y por qué hay un solo?
Check. My check, 1, 2, 1, check.
It's only
Check, mic check, 1, 2, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Hey, stick with me 2 seconds. We're just getting it all set up here. We're about to go live. Well, we are live. I'm about to start talking about the interview process, all right? So give me 2 seconds. Mic check, 1, 2, what's going on, everybody? Joe Munoz, hope you all are doing well. My phone too, my phone, she needs my phone. Instagram. See, give her that one, that's fine. That'll work. A ver, te lo abro. JD in the house, I scream, I shout. Well, you know how to work it. Here you go. Let's get the phone. Cami, ¿me puedes traer el teléfono, porfa, si puedes? Porfa. El teléfono que está ahí, el cordless phone. 786-536-2002. Call into the show today. We're talking about who's hiring. We're talking about how you can stand out and have a competitive advantage. Woo! Come on, man. How you can have a competitive advantage in getting A, the interview, and then B, once you get the interview, how you can stand out in the interview. My name's Joe Munoz. If you don't know the name, I'm accompanied here by the one, the only, the lovely Shalimar Almenar. It sounds better if I make it rhyme. Shalimar Almenar. Okay, we got JD in the house. Juan Dominguez. JD! He left. He's got a class of 10 or 12 mechanics in the other room for the 767. Okay, 767. And let me open up something really quick, which is the interview booklet. Okay, so hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're going to have an awesome weekend. Hope you're safe. Hope your family's doing well. I know your 1SP family here is doing great, and we love doing these live streams with you. Man, I'm just so excited that we're doing this live stream in our new and improved studio. In fact, this is the second live stream that we've done. The first one we literally just talked about all kinds of stuff. Some A320, some 73. We talked about stalls. We talked about all kinds of stuff. And this one we're talking about interviews, and we're going to be doing many more. There's JD. JD, get in the camera real quick, just so they can see that you're still here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up?
Juan Dominguez in the house. Okay, he's here. Now he doesn't have a microphone on, so maybe I can get him this.
That's all right. Hey, how you guys doing? Everybody's good?
Okay, I hope your family's doing well. So we're here.
So who's here? Who's here? Who we got here?
I don't know. Who do we
Who
have?
we got, Charlie?
Put your name in chat. Bazooka.
What is that? A320?
What's going on, man?
What is that? A320.
Harry K. Good to see you. Good to see you, Harry.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? How's everybody?
Appreciate having you here. What's the scoop for the day? The scoop for the day is A, who's hiring, B, how you influence to be able to be the one invited to the interview, and then once you get the interview, how to ensure you get offered the job.
And if you want to get hired by Spirit,
okay,
you got the man here.
Okay, if you don't know, I fly for them. There's a bunch of airlines hiring. You know, Frontier's hiring, JetBlue opened the window, from what I understand. A lot of cargo carriers. Atlas is hiring. 21 Air is hiring. Southern Air, which is basically Atlas, is hiring. Woo! Whew, there's a lot of hiring, man. There's a lot of hiring. So, you know, look, we're going to talk about that. And then apart from that, I'm going to share some things, some tips for you in the interview process. Now, I just want to open something here real quick, which is the interview
prep.
What is it called? The interview booklet. Let me silence this real quick. I'm hearing myself. The interview booklet, so I can talk about some things there. And share some tips. Allegiant Steven says, Allegiant is hiring. Allegiant very well is hiring. You're absolutely right on that. Copy, you know, maybe we should bring these lights closer, huh? Can you guys see me okay? How does it look on the screen there, Shally? Yeah, we don't really want it in the shot, but I think there it's actually...
That one.
Yeah, maybe it's in the shot.
This one? You want a little bit closer? Right here?
All right, let me open up this interview booklet and let's get rolling, man.
Right there.
Who do you want to fly for? Okay, who do you want to fly for? I got an email recently from a gentleman who saw one of the YouTube videos we put out. I was talking about different type ratings and which type rating is the one that you should look to, maybe perhaps invest time, energy, effort, money, what have you, because it's one of the type ratings that has the highest return. So in that video I said, listen, if you send me an email, joe.m@onestepprep.com, I'll give you as much guidance as I can as to what I would do given your you know, where you're at, right? And so if that resonates with you, I very much want to sit down and talk to you. You know, I want to sit down and talk to you about how we can get you on the path to ultimately go where it is that you're trying to go. So I want to hear in chat, man, who do you want to fly for? Who do you want to fly for? How can we be of service to help you get there? I know there's maybe some things that we can talk about in the interview, which I'm looking for here, this interview booklet. It's a very simple 13-page easy read. I really talk about some different things that they look for in the interview. In fact, actually, if you don't know, I went to San Diego with John and Martha King, and we work very closely with the King family, King Schools, and we were able to actually record an interview prep program with them. I spent a week out there and was fortunate enough and humbled to be able to do that. So that was really a great experience.
What about resume, Joe? What do you think about resume? We'll get a lot of questions about resume, right?
That's a good question. Resumes.
What is a good resume? What are they missing on a resume? What are they looking for on the resume?
Here's the answer to the resume. One page. One page, flight experience on the top. If I could give you a quick nutshell answer, make it one page with your flight experience on the top. You know, I've seen some resumes that are like, you know, 3-4 pages long. I would save the rest of that for the interview. You know, like all this great experience that you have, that's awesome. You know,
a lot of times they see 3 or 4 pages. They say, put it in
the thing is, they have a stack of resumes bigger than this. You know, and so you know, look, like whether it's right or not that they're actually going to go through all that. You know, the ethics behind that. You know, it kind of doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. What matters is that your one-page resume goes to the top of the stack, and then it's attractive enough for them to actually call you. You know, so what does an attractive resume look like? Clean, organized, what they primarily are looking for, which is flight experience, 121 background, previous jet experience. Depends on the job you're going for, right? If you're going for a corporate job, maybe you want to show some corporate background. If you're going to 121, maybe you want to have some previous airline experience, right? So that's the first thing I would tell you is make it one page, make it clean, make it organized, and make the flight stuff, the flight times specifically on the top. If you want help with your resume, I mean, let me know, okay? I'll put the resume together for you. I'll take the resume that you have right now and I'll review it. I'll tell you what I think about it. In fact, I'll redo the whole thing. If you want me to redo the whole resume for you, I can go through and redo the whole resume. And then, by the way, once you do that, you have your resume all done, right? Then we come to the part of you actually have to apply, send your resume. They're probably going to send you a skill assessment, personality test. This is a very common thing right now, is to get some kind of personality assessment or personality test. And there's certain things that they're looking for in this personality test that you want to be aware of. And then once you pass that, maybe they do, in today's times, they do like a, what's this thing called? Like a live, virtual call, a Zoom call, a virtual interview. And then maybe they do a phone interview, maybe they do an in-person interview. So really all of the principles that I'm going to talk about can be applied regardless of if it's on the phone, if it's on a virtual call, or if it's in person. Because it very much has to do with people and the influencing of, right? That's very much what we're going to be talking about. And, well, I'll get to that. And that's really what it is that we're here to do, is how do I influence in the direction of I am the immediate hire decision, I'm the long-term value add proposition, don't hire the other 1,000 applicants over me. Look at me first. I'm not saying don't hire them, I'm just saying look at me first, and it's going to be worth your while to do that. Francis, what's going on? Francis, good to see you in here. Rustum, Joe M, the legend. I don't know if I'm a legend, brother, but I appreciate you being here and thinking that of me. So, all right. So let's talk about something really quick, which is chasing network handshakes, contacts over hours. Something that I have done effectively from the very beginning of my career, from the time that I decided I want to be a professional airline pilot, is I've understood the importance of not only going after quality hours, but also going after quality contacts. And if I could list that in an order of priority, I'm not sure that I would necessarily put the hours over the contacts. And this is kind of a, let me silence this thing, this is kind of a discussion to be had. Everybody's heard the saying that it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And while you do need to know the what part, what you know, right, it needs to be very much there. Who you know is very important. So I took a job when I was in high school going through flight training, washing planes. It paid $10 an hour, and frankly, I didn't care what it paid because I really wasn't there to make a few bucks. What I was there to do is network. And I can tell you, one of the things that you really want to focus on is your network of people. And when you have that network, is influencing that network in the direction of they would actually vouch for you in a letter of recommendation, right? They would actually list themselves, be okay with listing themselves being affiliated with you to have a potential employer call out to them and actually have them talk and vouch for you, as I said, over the phone. And so look not only to build quality hours, look to build a quality network. And the way to build a quality network is to be involved in engagements, like one of the ones I just used in an example was the washing of planes, really for the reason of being in a network. You can network with us here at One Step Prep. You know, not only One Step Prep is not just, you know, Juan and Joe. One Step Prep is a family and a community of pilots and people that want to come together and help one another. And so look at the people that are in this chat right now. I mean, honestly, if I were you guys in this chat, I'd be dropping your email in this chat and say, hey man, how can you guys help me? You know, how can I help you, more importantly? I'm watching the chat live from another YouTube account, which is my personal one, Munoz Mission. I just put my name in there, and my email, joe.m@onestepprep.com. Dude, send me a message. I mean, I want to network with you. What you have to realize is that other people have what you want, including your job, including your promotion, okay, including the money for the house you're trying to sell right now, because the market's booming. At least here in Florida it is, okay? So that's the first thing, is your network. Okay, number one. Number two, make sure your resume, as I said earlier, is one page, it's clean, okay? It has the important things on top, which is your flight time, licenses held. So that should be the first thing, immediately. I'm making a decision to hire someone. Let me see. This person is John Doe. They got an ATP multi-engine with experience flying a 737. Like, that needs to be the number one thing that's on the top of the resume. It should be the first thing that's up there. And then the rest of it can be, you know, other, like, of course, you're going to have your education, right? You're going to likely have achievements. You're going to likely have things like you're bilingual if you happen to speak more than one language, or trilingual, or whatever it happens to be for you, right? These are all other things that you're going to have on there. But what you don't want to do is have your experience section, which you need there to span 3, 4, and 5 pages long, okay? That's the first thing. So now once they finally call you, or perhaps via email, invite you to do what's called a personality assessment or a skill assessment, they're going to ask you several questions that basically look to your personality. Now, what are they looking for specifically when they're looking to your personality? Everything boils down to one, maybe two common principles. Okay. A, is this the type of person that is here for the servitude of others in the company. Period. You can summarize it to that. Is this the type of person that is here for the servitude of others in the company? And is this somebody that I want to spend time with? These two things, if you can organize all of your thoughts, all of your responses, on the skill assessment, on the virtual call, on the phone call, and on the in-person interview, I am somebody you want to spend time with, and I am somebody who is here for the servitude of others in the company. Period. If you can structure everything around that, this is why I say questions like the self-serving questions. I talk about this in the interview prep program. Okay, if you're interested, it's onestepprep.com/interview. I talk about how some of the things you don't want to ask and some of the things you do want to ask. Okay, one of the things you do not want to ask is, how long does it take to upgrade? Do you think I'm going to be able to hold the 777? Okay, is it a problem if I want to live here and commute? What does the commuter clause look like? In other words, how many flights do I have in your union agreement, if it's a union carrier, to be able to get there? All of those, you may be thinking, they sound like good questions, and they are. And I'm going to get them answered, but I'm not going to get them answered by the person giving me the interview, frankly. Now, some of you may disagree with this, okay, and that's all right, but I don't want those answers to come from somebody who's basically now, I'm giving the perception that, frankly, I'm a problem, because I'm looking for what's in it for me. Not what can I do for you. If you're asking these questions, that very much can be summarized into what's in it for me. Is this going to work for my lifestyle? Is this going to be convenient for me? Is this something that I'm going to get to be able to fly that aircraft? Do I get to upgrade? Do I? Okay? And when you think about the structure of an airline and why is an airline even there? An airline is there to take freight, passengers, okay, goods, right? It's there to transport from A to B profitably and sustainably. So you need to figure out, how do I add value to a model that is structured around transporting passengers and freight from A to B safely and sustainably? And I'm there to add value to that structure. That's what I'm trying to do here. You come into the interview with this mindset and mentality, and that's what you want to shine through. Not that it's convenient for me and everyone else. Okay, now, you've heard the saying, two in the hand, or one in the hand rather, is better than two in the bush, which basically means go after the one. Okay? Don't try to chase after two rabbits, you'll catch none. I think actually it was Confucius that said, a man who chases two rabbits ends up with none. That means you got to chase one at a time, okay? And what I'm saying, by the way, on that, if you're, I'm going down this philosophical path with you here, essentially what I'm saying is just focus on getting the job. Just focus on getting the offer. Once you have the offer, you can start to wonder and question, is this offer that I now have, one in the hand, is this really going to work for me? Am I actually going to be able to fly what I want? Am I actually going to be able to commute? Am I actually going to be able to live where I need to live? Is this actually going to work? But at least you have it in the hand, and you did not let it slip away by giving responses to questions that very much influenced the interview panel into thinking that you are not the selfless, long-term value-add proposition that's going to be plugged into a process of transporting goods and services sustainably, right? That's what you're trying to do when you're there. So save all that, is what I'm saying, to be answered, not necessarily in a time when you're trying to prove yourself as being a long-term value-add proposition. Okay, that's what we're getting at with that. There's some questions you want to ask. There's some questions they're going to ask you that are very much incriminating. Tell me about a time you broke an FAR. Okay, tell me about a time you didn't feel comfortable. How would you handle a situation if one of your crew members is late? Right? They put you in these kind of uncomfortable situations, and then they want to see how you respond, and you need to know how to respond to that. Okay, this is why I went to. This is actually why I went to San Diego to sit down with John and Martha King and produce spent a little over a week. It was actually like one Monday to Friday. It was 5 days, one business week, that we recorded every day. How to interview effectively, and it's available on their website. It's actually available here as well, and I see Shally, you put it in the chat. Appreciate it. onestepprep.com/interview. I would get this program, folks, because if you can invest, those that pay attention, and those that pay nothing do nothing. I say this all the time. So if you pay and you pay attention, and you spend, whatever this program is, I think it's like $179, and it ends up getting you a job that's $170,000 a year, was it worth it to you, right? Renee, hi Joe from Mexico City, got a question on the Classic. and what I have to focus on most first days at SIM. Okay, my answer to you, Renee, we don't have the playbook here. OneStepPrep.com/playbook. I'll give you your answer. I wrote a playbook. It's 60-page, easy read, accompanied by video and audio. I talk about how to get through a type rating successfully. To answer your question, and it's based on entirely what I wrote about in that book and what I talk about there, in the SIM, forget about what to focus on in the SIM. The question is, what do I focus on before I ever get to the SIM? Because if you can prepare before you get to the SIM, you're already done. You're already focused and prepared for what's coming in the SIM, right? So prior to that, checklist responses, flows, callouts. Checklist responses, flows, callouts, okay? When you sit down and do the before taxi flow in the 737 Classic, you're going to want to be able to say back and forth challenge response. Generators on, probe heat auto, anti-ice, right, as required, or off in this case if it's not icing condition. Okay, start switches continuous, speed brake, right? Like you want to go back and forth crisply, and the only way to do that without stumbling over your words is to essentially have the checklist, frankly, almost memorized to the point where you can really recite it with minimal thought. You're doing it almost unconsciously. This goes into the levels of competence I talk about in the book. You can do it with, on a level of unconscious competence where you're basically competent without having to actually put a lot of focus on it. So hopefully that answers it for you. Focus on your call-outs, on your flows, on your checklist responses, okay? The other thing is flight profiles, Flight profiles, when do I put gear down? When do I put flaps out? This is another thing that you're going to want to be very well familiar with. And really the call-outs can actually be tied into this because that ties to the profiles. Like on a takeoff in a Classic, at 400 feet, we need a roll mode. At 1,000 feet, we need to accelerate. We need to do the thrust reduction and acceleration. Then we're going to do the flap retraction, start cleaning up, right? So all these things are very much a part of that. Let's see, there was a news article that I was going through here. I got JetBlue's website up. It looks like they're hiring. They have something called the JetBlue Pilot Gateway Program. Those of you that are lower experienced and you have JetBlue on your radar. Frontier Airlines is hiring. Spirit Airlines is hiring. 21 Air is hiring. Atlas Air is hiring. Okay, you need to figure out, man, where do you want to go? Where do you want to fly? Start building a network. Start building a network of people that can start to bring you in this direction, and then start developing your story for the interview, man. How am I the selfless, long-term value-add proposition, brother and sister, okay? Let's see, where's this thing I was looking for? APC, maybe it's in a different link entirely. A lot of freight carriers hiring right now, a lot of freight. I just got off the phone with someone that I can't really share who I was talking to, but they were telling me that the demand that they're seeing on freight operations is quite high. And obviously throughout this pandemic, you have companies like Amazon, you have these giants that that are shipping products left and right, and the freight operation has expanded so large in today's society particularly. And there's one thing for sure about freight: it's not going anywhere. There's also something about leisure travel that's not going anywhere. If you've been following this channel for quite some time, you will know that I always say, look at the trends, and leisure travel is rebounding faster than business travel, and freight has skyrocketed. Now, when you're trying to select an airline that you want to fly for, you're not, I'm speaking for myself, whether you agree with this or not, that's your game, man. But I can tell you personally, what I'm looking for is sustainability. Where can I put roots down and add value long term to a very well-oiled, structured machine that's running called an airline that will be sustainable for years and years and years and years to come. That's what you're looking for, right? And so a good answer to that is look at what has been performing well right now throughout all of this. Because today, I say it all the time, it's Corona today, and what is it tomorrow, Shally? Heineken. Heineken, Miller, I don't know. Okay, there's going to be something else. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So you need to be able to weather this, and what we're seeing is that leisure domestic travel rebounding. International business travel slower to rebound. And freight, very much taking off. So you have to kind of look when you say, man, I'm going to be the long-term value add proposition in a place that's sustainable. What exactly does that look like? Okay, drop your questions in chat. Call in if you want to call in. The phone number is 786-536. Maybe we can put that in there. 786-536-2002. 786-536-2002. Call in to the show and be okay with me putting you live on the air, man, because we're going to talk, okay? Renee says, appreciate it, thanks. Good, brother. Maybe, sister. Hope that answered your question. Jackie, what's going on? Yeah. What is one piece of advice you would give someone who is aspiring to become a pilot? Start. Good question. Start. Somebody who's aspiring to be a pilot. Start right now. What does that mean? That means go to Walmart and buy Microsoft Flight Sim and start learning what an attitude indicator is, what an altimeter is. Okay, start learning about what is altitude, you know. I would just start, man, and then find a local school nearby, find a local flight school. Look, these are the steps, okay? This is literally how I did it. Step number one, I want to be a pilot. I just made a decision, I want to be a pilot. Number two, I actually, you know, which probably, maybe you already have this information, I started looking up the data on, okay, what does a pilot make, and what does the job outlook look like, and this, that, and the other. But most important thing is, I want to become a pilot, decide I want to become a pilot. Okay, basically the same day or the day after, I'm like, okay, I'm going to Target. I'm living in Merritt Island, Florida, a little place there on the east coast of Florida there, Space Coast. I go to Target, I pick up Microsoft Flight Sim, I plug it into my computer, I start playing with it. It cost me $40. I had no idea what I'm doing. I had no idea what I'm doing. Like, when I say no idea, I had no idea. I'm 13, I turn on Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, all I knew is it seemed cool to fly the biggest plane, so out of all the choices on there, I just picked the biggest one. Started flying around, I had no idea how to even rotate off. And then finally I started kind of learning through some of the videos that were there a little bit, you know. And then I went to Merritt Island Airport, small little 3,000 foot strip airport, a lot of GA operation out of there, flight training. I stopped there at a place called Voyager Aviation, they're still there, and started my first flight lesson when I was 13. And my first flight lesson, I very much started to realize that this takes a lot of scanning different instruments and listening to like all this ATC radio calls on the radio, and I'm like, dude, what am I getting myself into here? Okay, and then but I just stuck with it, you know, and decided that's what I wanted to do. So then after that, my instructor there recommended that I buy a private pilot kit, which is basically some books that come in a little, you know, carry bag. You can pick up a private pilot kit for like $100-$150 online. So I would start with Flight Sim, then I would start with, you know, go to a local flight school, get a private pilot kit, enroll maybe on some online video programs like what King Schools offers. You get your private pilot license. You're going to need to add on your instrument rating. If you're serious about this and this is going to be a career, you need a privates to start, an instrument. You're going to need a commercial rating, and then you're going to need a multi-engine rating. And then you start to build some time, get to 1,500 hours, and then you get an ATP license. And then when you get the ATP, now you start going to airlines, you know, and start to see how you can expand from there. You know, it's a long road. It's a long road, for sure. And when I just want to share with you, for those of you that are young and you're watching this, okay, when I was 13, 14, washing planes, doing flight school and everything, people would tell me, dude, just enjoy high school. It only comes once. Just relax, you know, smell the roses. You're going to have time for that, okay? The truth is, the labor you put in today, you will not see the fruit of that labor until you fast forward at least 10 years. So everything that I'm doing today is not because I started yesterday. It's because it happened 15 years ago. And what am I saying? You are not too young. Do not listen to any of that garbage. That is not true. Just start, even if you're 10 and you're watching this. Okay? Stephen Grant, are you guys looking for instructors? We are. Actually, we are, Stephen. I don't know if you're local here in Miami, brother, but we're looking for 7.3 instructors, and then we're going to be looking for A320 instructors very soon to be doing some A320 training here. shoot me an email. And, you know, maybe we do something together. But yeah, we're looking for instructors. We need 7.3 guys right now, and then we're going to be doing more A320 in the near future. So I don't know where you fit into that, but let's do something. Emilio Osa. Emilio! What's going on, baby? Okay. How's the process to get your flight plan weather briefing? They print it and give it to us. They, yeah, so when you show up to the plane, they give us a stack of papers. Probably a stack like this, you know. And in there is the flight plan. 3 copies of it. One for the captain, one for the first officer, one for the gate agent. And then there's a packet with the weather, a packet with the NOTAMs. Weight and balance information is in there as well. Something called a TLR, takeoff and landing report. So how do we get it? A printer. How does it get to the printer? The dispatch center. You know, so the dispatcher actually puts the whole thing together. They send it to the gate agent, and then the gate agent prints it and gives it to us. So that's that. Okay. Hey, look, if you wanted, I would very, very highly recommend, guys. You know, if you have an upcoming interview, prepare for the interview. Prepare for the interview. You have an upcoming type rating. Prepare for the type rating. Spend time preparing so that you don't spend time repairing. Be proactive and not reactive. Okay. There's people that we have in the next door room a little couch. We call it the therapy couch because people literally come here when their oral is tomorrow, or maybe when they didn't have success somewhere along their training / interview process or what have you, and then they're very much trying to repair. It's costly to repair. It's better to prepare. Just be proactive about it. And there's several programs that we can offer, you know, to you here to do that. You know, one of them is the interview. Of course, today we're talking about interviewing. OneStepPrep.com/interview. I would grab that program if you have an up-and-coming interview. It's $179. And I'm not telling you to grab it because you're going to pay us $179. Okay, $179 is not going to change our life, but it might change yours. Okay, it might change yours. So, and I genuinely mean that. We have an A320 program coming up as well. It's May 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's a 3-day deal. There's a live stream available. It's $997 if you want to come in person. I very much love in-person training, man. I've done so many of these live stream events and whatever. I don't think, I don't think the live stream training is going anywhere, but I also don't believe it completely replaces an in-person training experience. It just can't. There's something about this human element that it's just, you can't replicate it, man. We're just human beings. Do we want interaction, people to people? Okay. And then the A320, if you want to do the live stream, you can grab the live stream there. It's $297, you know, so. Emilio, by the way, I'm finishing your book probably today or tomorrow. Oh, really, really good. Emilio, good stuff, brother. If you don't know, I wrote a book. It's 235 pages, 80 lessons, 35 exercises, talks about money, motivation, communication. Yeah, man, just invest in yourself. This is something I've been very good about, investing in myself. Nobody can take it from you. You see what I'm saying? If you invest in you, who can take it from you? Nobody. If you have interview skills, who's going to take that from you? Nobody. If you have A320 knowledge, who's going to take that? Nobody take it. They might be able to take this phone. They might be able to take this computer, dude. But ain't nobody. Oh, thank you for grabbing this, Charlie. So nice. This was the book I wrote here that Emilio said he's reading about. MunozMission.com/book. I very much wrote this book for my 1.5-year-old daughter to teach her about some of these concepts. The playbook for Renee. This I spoke to you about earlier. OneStepPrep.com. Yeah, Renee /playbook. 60-page. I would definitely grab that. You know, but I put all these things out because, you know, the mission is it's like this wristband, dude. If you want one of these wristbands on a mission, whatever it takes, or I'm committed to success or whatever, dude, I mean, I'll send you one of these for free. The mission, if you don't know what it is, I can tell you what, it's less about you and more about everybody else. That's what I always say. That's the mindset going into the interview. Okay, this interview is more about you and less about me. Just take this with you into your phone call, your video chat, your interview. I am here for the company and I'm here to be of service. If you can communicate that to them, you're hired. I would rather have somebody, think about if you own a Gulfstream right now. If you own a Gulfstream G550, you own the airplane. It is your airplane. And you're hiring somebody to fly the plane. So you put out an advertisement that says, I'm hiring for not 737, a Gulfstream 550. Maybe you want a 737, a BBJ, a Boeing business jet. You're hiring a captain and a first officer, man, and you get 500 applications. So you look through all 500 applications. You got a guy that went to the moon and back. You got a guy that flew around Mars. Somebody's flown the 737 for 20,000 hours. You got all these people that are highly qualified. You narrow it down to 20 people based on qualifications, right? The resume sells your qualifications. The interview sells you. That is the takeaway. The resume sells the qualification so that they call you, and then you sell you. You don't sell the resume in the interview. You sell you. The resume's done. Forget the resume. The resume already did its job. Hashendra, am I an A320 pilot? I am. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. So you use the resume to sell your qualifications, and now we go back to this example where you narrowed down 20 candidates out of these 500 applicants that are going to come fly your airplane. What are you looking for when they come meet with you in person? Do you just flip it around? Put you on the other side of the table. What are you looking for when you're hiring somebody to fly your airplane? Okay. Now I can tell you what I'd be looking for. Okay. Apart from the fact that I want somebody highly qualified, which by the way, the people that I'm calling, I already know they're highly qualified. Otherwise, guess what? I wouldn't be calling them. Their resume already told me they're qualified. So I got 20 people that are coming that are highly qualified. Okay, good. Now what? Well, now I want somebody that articulates to me, right, gives off this vibration, this energy, this sense that they're genuinely here for me. They're a pleasure to spend time with. I can be on the road with them for 4 days. They're very much a solution provider, not a problem creator. Right? They're not a problem creator. They're here to provide solutions. That's somebody I want on my team. Somebody that I want to spend time with. That's somebody I want on my team. Why is it so important that I want to spend time with them? Because time is all I have. Right? That's all you have. Time is finite. It is the most valuable thing that you and I have. Okay? Like, I mean, dude, if you died tomorrow, the whole world keeps spinning and money keeps flowing and your time is up. What does that tell you about money? It just keeps moving. Okay? So you got to put more valuable on time, and the person giving you the interview, whether they acknowledge that in that way or not, that's ultimately what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to spend a good time with. Time and spending a good time with somebody is what everybody's looking for. This is why you'll go to Disney World and spend $10 on a hot dog. Doesn't even make any sense. I have a video out here on YouTube that talks about I go to Disney World and I spend $10 on a hot dog. Why? Because the experience there and the time. It's a good time, man. It's a good time, right? Everyone's trying to look at how do I spend a good time. Why do you watch your favorite show on Netflix? You're just looking to enjoy your time. Right? So, what other questions we got, man? We've been on this for at least 30, 40 minutes. Got a couple links dropped in here. Thank you, Shally. How's Instagram looking over there? Okay, letters of recommendation, dude. And let me tell you something. You never know. You need to. You never know who you're talking with, right? Like you just don't know when you encounter someone. A, it's just the right thing to do to treat them right. B, you don't know who you're talking to. 3, you don't know where they're going. So you're going into the interview panel and you got a bunch of people there doing an interview, or you're in the environment and the culture in the airline where you're trying to interview. I mean, you very much want to treat everyone with respect because, as I said in that order, A, it's just the right thing to do. B, you don't know who they are. 3, you don't know where they're going to go. So it's important to keep those 3 things in mind when you encounter anyone. Shit, it could be at a grocery store. Doesn't have to be in an interview, man. It could be anywhere. Okay. All right. Throw in last couple questions. Probably gonna jump off this pretty soon here. Grab lunch. I got a meeting at 2 o'clock. Shally's gonna be running here soon. Okay. What else you guys got going on? I don't know. 39 minutes. We've been going for 39 minutes. Okay. OneStepPrep.com/3 days for the A320 program. I'm going to be talking about systems, flight control laws, operations, energy management. We just put out a new program as well. I'll probably hit some topics on this in the 3-day program that have to do with 121 stuff, because I have a lot of pilots coming to this that have been on leaves that are returning from a leave. So if that sounds like you, you're definitely a candidate for this program. OneStepPrep.com/3 days. In person's $997, and the virtual is $297. It's recorded. You'll keep it for 30 days thereafter. So just go grab that. The interview prep program, OneStepPrep.com/interview. The 121 program, OneStepPrep.com/airlines. This is for people that have never flown in an airline before. Your military background, your GA background, your corporate, Part 91 flying, 135 charter, maybe you did some 135 cargo flying like what I did. You show up to an airline and you're like, okay, I don't know what an amendment is, I don't know what a deferral is, I don't know what a OCC is. What is a release? What is a revised release? You know what I'm saying? MEL versus CDL and the requiring of an amendment with these things. Like, these are all things that pertain not to an airplane, it pertains to a 121 environment, right? So we put together this program. We're selling it jointly together with King Schools. So you can grab it at OneStepPrep.com/airlines. And also, if it's not up already, it will be shortly on the King Schools website. You can grab it there, okay? Joe Munoz, the name. Hope you all are doing great, man. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you have an awesome weekend. Send me an email. joe.m@onestepprep.com. By the way, if you want to instruct for us at some point in your career, 737, we're going to be looking for 737 instructors here. We're also going to be looking for A320 a little bit further down the road, but very, very near future. So we want quality instructors. Listen to what I'm saying. Instructors. Instruction. Not examiners. Okay, we hire educators. I'm not looking for an examiner. I'm not looking for somebody to check and check and check. You show up to a training event and it turns into a checking event. That will not fly. Not here, man. We don't do that. And I can tell you, as it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you too, you show up to a training event and you end up getting checked and examined. So we don't want that kind of instructor here, because frankly, that's just not instruction. So everyone who does teach for us will be AX3 certified. Okay, you're going to go through an AX3 certification. It's 2 days, 16 hours. It's 8 hours a day. It's 16 hours. There's an accompanying book with exercises we're going to go through, examples with problem students, examples with students that aren't understanding, examples of students that are on their phone all the time, examples on how to articulate things to transfer data so that you have the knowledge, but not only do you have it, you can transfer the knowledge. Okay, this is what you need to know how to teach effectively. So these are the types of people we're looking to attract and we're looking to have on our team here. Okay, the One Step Prep family. So if that sounds like you, send me a resume. Make sure it's 1 page long. Make sure it's 1 page long, and maybe we do something. All right, maybe we do something. If you want to be an affiliate, okay, maybe you don't want to teach, right? But you just like what we do. You believe in the message and the mission, and you like how we articulate our instruction and what have you. And you want to promote and sell our products and benefit monetarily from it. Dude, go for it, man. Sell our stuff. We'll give you an affiliate link and you'll get a direct deposit paid out to you every time. Okay, so this is very much about how do we spread this to the whole world so that we can impact as many people as we can. That's basically what I do, everything I'm involved in. One Step Prep, Munoz Mission, with the book, like just, you know. And how do you push with as much energy as we do? Make it bigger than yourself. If it's bigger than yourself, you're going to have the energy to do it. So that's what I would tell you. All right. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next stream, probably next week. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. We've got an awesome, awesome studio here. Thankful for you. Thankful for everyone to actually help us put this thing together, run the production. Shally here. Okay. All right. So we'll be doing more of these, and I'll see you in a future one, possibly as soon as next week. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you soon.